Hi, my name is Bailey and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to give you some predictions. We're going to look into the future, one could say. Books I think that once I get to them one day and read the precious words within their covers, I will give them 5 stars and they will hit me hard. So, as with most things, you can never really tell the future. These could end up being 1-star reads. Let's be honest, you never know. I haven't read them. I haven't seen what's within the pages. Who knows? But we're gonna try. We're gonna give a prediction and hopefully some of these will be true when I finally get to these books. So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books on this little list here and I'm gonna get right into it. So I'm gonna start with the book I'm currently reading right now, and that is Archenemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the sequel to Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and it is the second book in a trilogy, I do believe. So I'm going to tell you about Renegades, because I can't tell you about this one. So Renegades follows Nova and Adrian, and they live in this futuristic society, I think it's sci-fi, I do believe, where there are superheroes and people with extraordinary powers, and they're anarchists and renegades, and they're kind of got different social, political sort of views and how things should be run. And Nova is an anarchist, and she is going to infiltrate the Renegades and act as a spy within the Renegades. And I absolutely love the first book, and I started reading this because I've been putting off Archenemies for a while. It came out a while ago. So I've been putting it off, but I started reading it, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm remembering how much I love these characters and how much I love the first book. Marissa Meyer really does have fantastic writing and world building, and I love her stories so much. So I'm so glad I got back into this, and I'm already feeling a 5-star vibe from it. I'm over halfway through, just over halfway through, and I'm really feeling that 5-star vibe. So I'm pretty sure, 92% sure that this is going to be a 5-star read for me. It's 10 out of 10, real good right now. And also, this cover is gorgeous. It's beautiful. I love it. Next up, we have one that a lot of people really like. And if you haven't read this book, really, you're one of the only people at this point, because 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo has been hyped to the 9s, and everybody says it is this work of art that if you haven't read it yet, you're gonna be a changed person once you read it. So, if you don't know about this book, it follows 6 people, 6 criminally kind of people, and they're going on a heist, and it's apparently it's 10 out of 10. I'm not going to give you a further description because I don't really understand. I've read the first chapter 6 times or so, and I haven't been able to get past it. I know the first line off the top of my head. Juice had 2 problems, the moon and his mustache. I'm just so good at reciting lines that basically have no meaning in the book. So, I've been wanting to read this forever. It's a beautiful book. Look at this book. It's right up my alley. I love, anti-heroes or, morally great characters, and I've heard there's a few of those in this book, and I've been really wanting to read it. It's just, I've started reading it, I've read the first chapter, and just never gotten into it. Never been able to, fully immerse myself in the world and get to it. So, this is actually one of those books that I've had on a video I posted, before the end of the year, in 2018. This is one of the books I have to read by the end of 2019 because I've been putting it off so long. I actually got a paperback version recently so that I can read that one because I swear this copy is cursed. I can't read it. It just stops me from reading it every time I read the first chapter. Take that how you will. I believe it. So we have a paperback and we're going to try. I really hope to read this actually next month. So crossing our fingers that happens. But yeah, this is, I just need to read it. So many people love this so much, and I really feel it's going to be a 5-star once I finally get to it and get past that first chapter. Next up, I have Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. No, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Sorry if it's not. This book, I am such a big fan of queer representation, and especially, I haven't read too many fantasy books in which that is a proponent and something that's, really big in it, and this is one of those books where queer female romance is the main part, or a main part of the book. So I'm really excited to read this. This is an Asian fantasy, I do believe, as well, which is really great. So this book, I don't actually know too much about the plot. I've tried to figure it out and I'm kind of confused. I feel like this is one that I'm just gonna have to like get into and just read and get the gist of it basically. But it takes place in a fantasy setting in which there are paper girls, I think that's what they're called. Yeah, and they are taken in to serve the king. I think that's like there's a trigger warning for sexual assault or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, I've just heard. But it does have a forbidden romance between the main character and another girl, and that is fantastic. I'm really excited to read that, so I really want to get to this. It takes me like a hot second to get into fantasy books because typically there's a lot of world building to get into a fantasy, and sometimes I just lose my mood because I'm a mood reader and I lose that like want to read it too quickly and then put it down and it's a travesty. But I'm really excited to read this. I'm excited for that queer rap. So next up we have The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This book is like, I haven't actually seen a negative review of this anywhere. So this is obviously a very, very hyped and very, very well-loved book. Gotta sneeze. So this book is told in verse, and I don't know too much about the plot-wise. I know it follows an African-American main character, I do believe. And she wants to be a poet or a slam poet. I also know that the author is also a slam poet, and when I was buying this book from the bookstore, the cashier who was checking me out was telling me that the audiobook is also really great because the author is a slam poet, so when there's poetry in the book, it's like performed very, very well. So I'm really excited to dive into this, but yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a 5-star. I've heard it's very impactful and it has very good messages. And I mean, diversity in books is always very, very necessary and important. And I'm really excited to read this. I haven't read too many things in verse, and I'm really excited for that aspect as well. So we have this. Next up, we have Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This just sounds like such an adorable romance, and I love a good romance because my dating life is very, very dry. So I like to live through other people. So we're here to live through these two. But I really love the premise of this, and I just recently read a queer contemporary that has a similar like basis as this, like taking place in a place that's very strongly religious and having to deal with being LGBT in a place like that. So yeah, I'm really excited for this book. It also has a bisexual main character, which is always fun to read about. The main character, his name is Tanner. He was openly out and out of the closet, but now he's moved to Utah, I do believe. And now he's been forced back into the closet and he's dealing with that. And then Tanner does meet a boy and they fall in love. And I'm super excited. It just sounds like such a cute romance that also deals with religious problems around LGBT. And I'm really, really excited to read it. Also, it's so adorable. Like, I'm really excited. Oh, I love adorable things. So, yeah. Next up, and the last book I have on this list is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. My best friend Ava, you've seen, she's been on the channel a few times. She loves this book, and as you can see, and as you probably already know, it is a gay fantasy romance here. I read Fangirl last year, and the fan fiction that is highlighted in it that the main character writes is Carry On, and this is it in book form. And the sequel is coming out really soon, and I thought it was the perfect time to like pick it up finally because I've been putting it off. So yeah, I'm really excited because I know that there's a morally gray sort of character and a cute queer romance, which is always appreciated. And I've just been putting it off for so long, and I'm really hyped right now actually to start reading this because I've been talking to my best friend about it, and she just like keeps sending me these edits on Instagram that just like got me so like hyped. I want to read it. I want to see the cute romance for myself. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this. Super, super hyped. This is my stack of 5-star predictions right here. I cannot wait to get to these books. Like, I've been just so excited to read them for so long, and I'm finally, starting with Archenemies, getting to them. So hopefully Hopefully I get to them within this year or pretty soon. I would love to know what your 5-star predictions are for your own reading, and if any of these books have caught your fancy. If you've read any of these books, please tell me your rating and how you felt about them, because I would really love to hear other people's opinions on them. But thank you so much for watching. I've been Bailey. Bye-bye.